Okay, so this is where we left off. I'm going to add some edge loops to the arms and legs. I think when I repositioned the arms, I made them a little bit too long, so let's just tweak that real quick. It's a little awkward moving them like this, but it's okay. Works all right. Yeah, just to give it a little bit. The idea is that they should come down to right about here when they collapse by the sides, and repositioning them the way I did was not maybe optimal. So I've got the bends in the knees, the bends in the elbows, and I think that's a better fit. Now, so I haven't subdivided yet, which will smooth this. Right now, it's bulky and square, but it will look more like this. But it will have more polygons and more vertices. So I want to be sure that did I do this already in the other video? Looks like I might have. Yeah, okay. Oh no, maybe not. So with the smoothed version on, I want to make sure that like the head doesn't end in midair here. I want to see the details. This is me, maybe more than you. I want to see some details here that maybe you don't care about, because I put a lot of effort into giving this guy kind of tattoos of texture. Right, so if I pull that down, I end up with but this is armor, as I said before, so I can really build up his shoulders. And if I have to, I can raise the armpits a bit. But in fact, I can beef up the shoulders like that, and that will give him, I think that's right. So I can see this, and the detail on the back, the sides. I've got some on the sides I don't care so much about. I mean, you can kind of see them. And pardon me, need a little water. And I will probably end up building a collar for this guy. But this is more what he'll look like when he's smoothed. But I want the collar and other chest plate and other parts to look more like this, less smoothed. So I'm going to build them separately. I had tried extruding previously on a couple weeks ago. I tried extruding these parts, and then I needed to crease them to make them less smoothed, and I didn't like that effect so much, and so this, doing them separately, I'll treat it like jewelry or clothing. So if this is his suit, if the suit is his body, he doesn't really have a body underneath it, then if I made more like clothes or jewelry for him, I wouldn't make them a part of his body and extrude them, would I? So they would be hard geometries, and his body would stay soft. So this is the way it'll look eventually, more like this, but we'll stick with this for a minute. I need to give this guy, like right now, he has thighs are thicker than his calves, but the calves don't bow in the back, and we could really beef up these thighs a little bit, and the forearm should bulge across here, and maybe there's a bicep muscle here. Oh, you know what I can do here too? So I need to add some edge loops, and that'll give me some detail. Edge loops, you may find yourself not in modeling. They're only in modeling under mesh tools. You may find yourself in FX. So if you don't see mesh tools up here, no matter where you are, you need to get back into modeling. Mesh tools. Insert edge loop. Now, there's different ways you can do this, but I want to do them by hand. I'm going to go into my front view. Where's my, yeah. And so the loop will form this way from 45 degrees from whatever I click here. So I'll give him one. I see. You know what? I want to give him two at a time. So let's try this again. Mesh tools, edge loop. Here, this little bit here. So I want to use multiple loops. I'll give him two. This may be default to two. Try this again. Yeah, that looks better. Doesn't distort the sculpt, the model. Okay, so now I've got more. I wanted to move the arms around into a new position before I had so many vertices to worry about. Okay, so let's make his. Let's give him some bulging biceps. Oops, I'm in the wrong. I've got the undo. I've stolen this tool. Need to get here. Right. So I want to choose vertices and give him some bulging biceps. Using shift, I can grab extras, but then I want to be sure not to get anything that I don't want. So I end up going around and looking around the whole body sometimes. Let's just be simpler to grab these again. So I do a quick spin. That looks all right to me. Let's give, let's scale this up just a little bit. And that gives him a little bit more bicep. And then we can maybe grab just the ones in front here. Sometimes it's good to hit Q to get rid of that gizmo so that I can see these and grab them. And then W to get back. There we go. Because the bicep would bulge more on this side. And then the forearm would bulge right around in here, right? So just see if I can get just those. Got an extra. And scale it up. This looks a little Popeye-like, but again, in this view, it looks pretty normal. So I might even just do these again. And maybe it's good to stay in this view for this part. I constantly do this flipping around business just to make sure I'm not getting a vertex on the back. It's well worth, making it part of your habit. You just becomes second nature. Okay, and then the legs are beginning to look pretty skinny at this point. Let's see if I can't grab these vertices and scale them up. And I think the ones in the front have maybe they do a little something different. And the ones in the back really bulge out because that's your sitting down area. And then let's get these calf muscles. And we can scale them up. Get these in the front as well. Okay, it begins to look a bit like a muscly dude. And that's kind of what I'm after, right? I want a sense of armor, of a big guy in a bigger suit, a mechanism that makes him stronger than he has a right to be, a kind of mech suit. Got a nice bend in the knee. Oh, we can see here. Maybe we can pull just these bits. forward just a bit to give it maybe a bump to that knee, or maybe not. Yeah. So that looks pretty good, and I think the arms are better off to be a little bit shorter than they started out. Oh, and let's pull down the heels in the back. So I've got more than I wanted here. And just pull them down and back. I can make these a little bit more bulbous toe. I wear a lot of boots. I don't know if you noticed, but I wear a lot of boots, and mine have, I tend to buy the kind with kind of more bulbous toes. His feet are maybe a little huge, but that works for me. I like it. The gloves could even be a little bit bigger. Let's see if I can get everything but the wrist here. Yeah, that looks like everything but the wrist. Yeah. So there we go, kind of a mechanical glove. I'm going back to my blocky view, which looks, monstrous, but just keep in mind we're going back and forth because this is where we're headed. And in fact, we're going to subdivide, but I have to take a short break, and when I come back, I'll try not to stop the recording like I did the beginning of this session last time. You didn't have to know that, but now you do. Okay, so finally I'm going to subdivide. So I'm going to go in object mode. I'll hit the 1 to see it blocky. And you'll see that this will look a lot more once it's subdivided like this, because another word for subdivide is smoothing. This is the smooth. Add faces and to the selected polygon objects to smooth them. This is reduce the number of polygonal components. So this is sometimes an iffy proposition, but this, you can see the icon is big polygons divided into smaller ones, and this is like the opposite, smaller polygons divided into big ones. So I remember I'm still in the 1 view, but this is the 3 view. So that's the difference. And one of the things this has given us is a center seam, which can be important and useful to us later. I don't know now if I had to have those shoulders so high on the side, so I wonder. Again, just flip it to make sure what I'm getting. Just looking where the head meets these shapes. Again, I may make a collar for this. Probably I'll need to. But I'll make it a harder edge. It won't be as smooth. Oh, I've got a kind of a weird kind of crease here. Let's see if we can figure out what causes that. Yeah, I guess that's probably right. So I could probably eliminate that a bit by, let's see if I even have one on the back the same way. A bit of one. Although on the back it makes some kind of better sense. Let's see if we can't grab edges. Shift. Get rid of this for a second. Shift. There we go. Yeah. And just pull that down. And some of this we may hide a bit when we bring this into Mudbox. Looks a little bit better. Still kind of a weird seam there. Some of this may be inevitable, and actually, we will probably further subdivide. Yeah, this is not. This is now pointy. I think I can just undo. When we bring this in a mud box, we'll add a lot more polygons, and we'll have a chance to work some of this material. Anyway, that's the suit until it goes to Mudbox. That's the way the suit looks. And in Mudbox, I will add a texture to it, not unlike the texture, some of the texture here. Not unlike that, although more fabric-y. I'll add a fabric-y texture to some of this, but also I may create a shoulder, armor, and I mentioned a kind of accordion pipe or heater vent accordion for the elbows and knees, but I may do that in terms of just painting it on and then carving some minimal carves and painting the details on. And so this is a good place to stop here. The next tutorial will be, in fact, I hope to, I guess probably because my video was not complete, the last video was not complete. In the last video, the fourth video on the playlist, I should have gotten this far to subdivision, so that video was cut off at least a minute too soon. But that gave me a chance to really work with the body parts and give them more human shape. I'm very happy. I'm happy for the most part with the way this guy is turning out. Just to reiterate what I've said before, the third time you make something like this, a human body from a cube, and the fourth time, you'll always be getting better. So it doesn't hurt me to have to do it twice.